Hello, my friend. Welcome to our lesson. Past perfect continuous. Had been verb ing. Today we are going to learn past perfect continuous. Don't panic. The name is long, but the grammar is easy. Trust me. Past perfect continuous had been verb ing. That's all. The main idea, imagine two things happened in the past action. You worked for hours. Action, you went home. Which happened first? Working. So, we can say, I had been working for 5 hours before I went home. Look, I had been working. First action continued for same time. I went home. Second action, very simple. The formula subject had been verb ing. That's all. I had been working. You had been working. Oh, he had been working. Sorry about that. I want to drink a little water. That's all. We had been working. They had been working. Beautiful things. Oh, everybody uses had been. Everybody uses had been. No has. Okay, no has. Okay, I had been. You had been. He had been. She had been. We had been. That is very easy. Also, they had been. When do we use it? That's all. We usually use it when an activity started in the past continued for same time. Then another past event happened. For example, I had been sleeping for 2 hours when you called me. First, I started sleeping. Then 2 hours passed. Hours passed. Then you called me. So, I had been sleeping for 2 hours when you called me. So sorry about that, my friend. you know, I'm like you, a human. And more easy examples. She had been studying for 3 hours before she took a break. Don't forget it. First, she studied for 3 hours. Second, she took a break. They had been waiting for an hour before the bus arrived. Very easy. Please focus on this lecture. First, they wait and wait and wait. 1 hour. Where is the bus? Finally, the bus arrived. Therefore, so, they had been waiting for an hour. Okay, I have a cough. I have a fever, fever, cough. My friends. You know, why? Just let me think about that. Okay. He had been working all day. Okay, not 5 minutes. All day. Of course, he was tired. Think about the direction. Past perfect continuous loves direction. we often use for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for a long time, since morning, all day. Okay, all night. Examples: I had been driving for 3 hours. Okay, she had been studying since morning. We had been taking or talking for a long time. He had been playing games all day. They had been working all day. And for and since. What's the difference? Very easy. For how long? For 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes. Example. Okay. I had been waiting for 2 hours. Since starting point. Starting point. Since 8 o'clock. Since morning. Since 2020. 2030. Example. I had been waiting since 8 o'clock. Remember, for direction. Since starting point. Okay, let me think. I will give you more examples for you understand. Let's make a little story. Tom wake up at 7 o'clock. He start working at 8. He worked 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. At 11:20 at 1 afternoon. His boss said, Inan, you look tired, said me. Okay, I said, of course, I had been working for 5 hours. Why do we use past perfect continuous? Because the working start earlier, continued for 5 hours. Caused as tuition in the past. Right. Another example, Sarah or Aisha or Landy. Aisha went outside. The ground was wet. Why? Because it had been raining. Maybe it wasn't raining anymore, but we could see the result. The ground was wet, wet, because it had been raining. That's all. Okay, let me think. First of all, I like to ask you questions. Second of all, do you have any question? And the important is, do you like our lesson? Or do you have any question for me? Okay. Wonderful, mates. You have no question. Sounds good. Very easy trick. When you say past, how long? Think. Had been ing. That's all. Example, how long were you waiting before the doctor came? 2 hours. So I had been waiting for 2 hours before the doctor came. Done. Daily examples. I had been sleeping for an hour when you called. When you called, she had been cooking before the guest arrived. We had been waiting for you for 30 minutes. He had been driving all night. They had been taking for hours. I had been studying before I went to bed. Let me think, my friend. Okay, I like to ask, do you have any question? Do you understand this lesson? That is so easy. Subject. We had been living there for 5 years before we moved. It had been running all morning. I had been cleaning the house before my friend arrived. Okay. The baby all had been. Okay. He, she, it, we, single plural, had been. Okay. One final story I like to say. Imagine just. You arrived at a restaurant 8 at 9. Your friend arrived at 8 a.m. or p.m. Don't worry about it. You are angry. Your friend says hello. You says hello. Okay. I came here at 8. It is 9 now. I had been waiting for you for 1 hour. Your friend says sorry. You say you should be sorry. I ate your food too. Okay. The golden rule. Don't forget this. Remember only this. Had been verb ing. We use it for an activity that continued for same time before another point. Even in the past. I had been working for 3 hours before I went home. Working start first. Working continued. Then I went home. Past direction. Earlier activity, past perfect, continuous. Okay. And that is not very hard. That is not hard. Trust me, that is very easy. That is very, very easy, my friend. And I like to say again the golden rule. The golden rule. Don't forget it. Remember only this. You can remember only this. Had been verb ing. But had been. That is for plural, that is for singular. He had been, she had been, we had been, they had been, I had been, just had been. Okay. We use it for an hour activity that continued for same time. Focus, please. Before another point. Event, it is past. I had been working for 3 hours before I went home. Working started first. Working started first. Just think. Working started first. Working continued, then I went home. Past direction, earlier activity. Past continuous. Past perfect continuous, pardon me. Past perfect continuous, my friends, Okay, I like to say again. Do you have a question? If you have any questions, please share with me. I like to give you more example. We had been living there for 5 years. For 5 years. For 6 years. We had been living there. Okay, or I had been living there for 7 years before my father moved. Okay, and she had been living there for 5 years before we moved. That's all. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience and see you next time. See you next lesson. Take care of yourself.